what have you been watching lately?
Let's see.
Anime wise.
Easy breezy.
Eizouken?
I finished
Yeah.
that. I finished that
Yeah.
yesterday because it finished like the day before. I was
Yep.
following that every week.
Yeah, I managed to do that as well. Although I saved the second to last episode for a 2 episode binge to finish it off. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's got some amazing animators.
Yeah.
As Kanapa would say, we've got some amazing animators here.
Amazing CG Studio. Studio Orange.
Oh my gosh, you get like his cadence on the word studio like perfectly.
Yeah, but I really liked Eizouken personally. Although I was thinking about it a lot, like kind of towards the end, but like for the majority of it, it's definitely a better adaptation. Like it's certainly the superior way to experience Eizouken than the manga. There was a video that was really good about that, talking about that. But I was thinking that like it's a good show, but not because it's a Yuasa anime. You know? Did you think it was like good because Yuasa?
I'll be honest. My sister, she came in while I was watching the show a few times, and it had never ever crossed her mind that Uwasa's name was on it ever.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It didn't feel different in that way. I feel like, and I was realizing this past, I think 2 months ago, I watched Ride Your Wave, the new movie he directed.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, that is out. At least the ways you can watch it. But I did not like it. I was not a fan. And then right after that, my friend and I watched the first 3 episodes of Kemonozume, which is the first thing he directed, and I fucking loved
Well,
it.
well, the first full TV
Yeah, yeah,
anime.
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. His first major project is what I wanted to say. Uh, and oh my god, it was fantastic. And I was realizing it's like what about Kimonozume and Devilman Crybaby and Lou Over the Wall and Ping Pong do I love about Yuasa that I don't necessarily get from watching Tatami, in a way Kaiba. I'm kind of in the middle with Kaiba personally. Ride Your Wave I was really mid on. Like none of them are awful films or anime, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? And I was thinking it's because they just don't have like teeth. Like they're literally like toothless. They don't have like the kind of the stakes or the edge to it. Like this kind of a sense of danger, and it's like I don't know necessarily if Ping Pong has that either, but I don't know. There's just sort of kind of it's
Well, I
sort of an
can't because
attitude.
it's a sports show, but
Oh yeah, okay. But I don't know. It has like an attitude towards it, like in it that like it just kind of gives it this like swag that I just don't get from these other shows. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not
I suppose so. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I think that's gonna be specific to you because
yeah,
there are some Yuasa works that you feel more strongly about than I do, and
yeah,
there are some that I feel more strongly about than you do. So like,
yeah. That's kind of a amorphous.
it's kind of
kind of,
gonna have
yeah.
to be a question only you can answer, I guess.
I suppose so. What would you say is what sort of common do you see in your pool? Like our pool, like I agree, our pool of what we like and don't like about Yuasa is different. But what would you say is kind of the similarity that do you think there's a similarity you could point to with his work? That it's like, what do you like seeing about
Uh,
Yuasa?
I like when it's more freeform. I don't like when I don't like it as much when it feels a lot more stationary. And that's
Hmm.
kind of my problem with like his some of it a lot more so with his Flash stuff. A
Yeah.
lot of it feels kind of like I don't know, it feels a little too conventional for my tastes.
Hmm.
When if I'm watching a show directed by Yuasa or a movie directed by Yuasa, I kind of want something that's a little more freeform and a little more like that's kind of what I liked about Ping Pong in particular is that they make
Yeah.
some of like the ugliest looking faces humanly
Yeah.
possible, but it's just
Right.
like it's so cool to watch play out, even when it's like very
Yeah.
limited because. Not every part of Ping Pong necessarily moves all the time. They use a lot of paneling. In fact, I'd say it's one of the shows that does split screens right. But like um but it's always just like cool to look at in that sense. But it's not
Yeah.
completely fair. It's not completely fair
Yeah.
for me to
I
say
agree. There's
this
kind of a
because
grit to it.
Yuasa doesn't technically always have a very hands-on approach to every project he's directing at Science Saru. Like, for example, the new show he's going to be doing for Netflix, Nihon Shinbotsu, uh, what is it, Niju, wait, no, Nisen Niju Nen or whatever, like 2020. Um,
Yeah, it's like the earthquake show.
yeah, he's technically not director for it. There's someone else who's going to be like the director for that
But his
story.
name's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like he's like a producer on it.
Well, he is director, but he's also sharing that
Oh,
position
it's
with
co-director.
a
Interesting.
name I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce because there's no way I'm going to get it correctly.
Was it
And if
Korean?
I already made a fool out of myself with the whole Islamic tea incident, I'm not going to repeat history.
No, that's funny. That's fine. No, I feel you. But yeah, and I was noticing that too, cuz a lot of his earlier stuff, he's involved in like a bunch of aspects to it. Like Kimonozume, he's episode director for a lot of the storyboard and like animation, like original creator and whatnot. Or I might be wrong about some of those
So
credits.
weirdly enough, he does not do my favorite part of Kimonozume.
Yeah.
Um, that's actually Osamu Kobayashi does my favorite part of Kimonozume.
Oh, is
They,
the episode director?
Kobayashi also has like a really freeform style. Well, yeah, because he directed Beck. He
No,
directed
yeah.
Paradise Kiss.
Yeah.
Some Days Dreamers too.
No, for sure.
Yeah, that guy.
No, I'm aware. Yeah, but he directed
And I
an episode
actually
of
really like
Kimonosume.
his style generally. Yeah, it was like midway through the show. I think it was episode
Something like that. Yeah,
7.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm only 5 episodes into it. It's fantastic. God, I love that show.
It's a cool show.
Yeah, it's sick. But like, yeah, with Eizouken, I, yeah, it was a good show, and because it's you really get convey the messages about why people make anime and the struggles that they face while not being so in line with industrial. Like it's not like Shirobako, right? It's not trying to do
Yeah.
that. But in that way, I mean, I haven't seen Shirobako yet, but I already think I like this way of telling it better because you actually see kind of multiple finished projects and stuff, and you see like a growth of a studio and like their journey.
Well, yeah, with Shirobako, it's a bit more autobiographical, I'd say. Where it's like, this is Tsutomu Mizushima's experience making Girls in Panzer when the show ended up getting delayed and stuff like that. Here are some of the people
Yeah.
I know from the industry with, like, actual sort of quirks that they have. Like, they have Masao Maruyama's sort of likeness displayed in Shirobako, and he's shown, like, cooking meals. A lot of the time he's just like he's this like weirdly like cheery cute old man, and he's like cooking meals for them
Yeah.
all the time, and apparently it's true. Like Masao Moriyama, he'd always like come in and make meals for like
Yeah.
the animators.
That's sick. Oh my god, that's so cool. Yeah, that shit's really nice. But I agree. It's more autobiographical and like detail oriented, whereas Eizouken is talking more about the philosophy and the spirit of making the thing and kind of the struggles that people face and the how it needs to be a mix of personalities. Like it can't just like you. If it was 3 Kanemoris making an anime, it would not happen. If it was 3,
Well, yeah, you need Ed
if
and
it was-
Eddie. You
yeah.
just can't have Eddie.
yeah, or 3 Eddies, like
Yeah.
or like Misasakshi, like 3 of those people would never be able to make the finished product. It's always kind of a blend of different talents and strengths and personalities required to make something like this in particular. Not to say that that is the case for every endeavor, of course, but it's certainly the case when making something this commercial and this elaborate as anime, you know.
Yeah.
And
To me, the best parts of the show were always like when they face like this sort of societal problem, I guess, where it's like,
yeah,
the world itself is kind of trying to stop them, and they need to find like a workaround, be it like the student council trying to stop them, or like the school board, or them
definitely.
being like chased around.
Oh my god, that
The
was
chase
fantastic.
scenes in this show were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
another thing. I can see why they want Yuasa in particular to direct it, because like there's this playfulness when he directed all of Morimi's adaptations, like with Walk On Girl and Tatami. It
Yeah.
has like this sort of playfulness to it, and I think that playfulness is actually kind of captured in Eizouken pretty well.
Yeah. What's interesting though is just like, it's not like they picked Yuasa's. It's actually Yuasa found found this,
Yeah.
that someone was like, "Hey, Yuasa should do this," because it has
No,
kind of
no.
a
When I
a
say
wonky-
they, I mean the people on Twitter.
Yeah,
that
I
were
see. No,
that
I feel
wanted
you.
him. Yeah.
I feel that was based on purely on design. I feel like when you see that, I remember looking at that without even knowing what Eizouken was about. Like when we went to Kinokuniya, like seeing that manga, I was like, yeah, I can tell this is something Yuasa would do. Not even knowing what the shit was about. I just felt like even just aesthetically, it was up his alley. But I just don't think he did anything particularly of his style, which I haven't necessarily broken down yet in my head the way I have for like Dazaki. I do think it's possible to really get a sense of what this guy makes, and really get a kind of an essence of it.
Yeah.
I would like to do that in a future, in some sort of future video or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. Probably go work by work instead of kind of a holistic approach the way I did with Dazaki. But yeah, I do think that it's not like it's unlike Yuasa to make something like this. I just don't think he flaunted his talent the same way. I think it was just kind of like Sai and Saru making their first TV anime. Well, it technically wasn't their first because Super Shiro came before.
Yeah.
That's a TV anime technically, and that show is also apparently directed by Yuasa, and you can barely fucking tell. Like there's, I don't know. It's like how much of this is really under his watch, in his driving force, and how much of it is like him overseeing the project.
I mean, when you're directing like 5 projects at once,
Yeah.
like there's only so much of you to go around. Like he isn't cloning himself 5 times.
That's true. That's definitely true. I think you have a very good point there.
Unless there's something we don't know about going on.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's super weird.